Hello everyone and welcome to another episode for Christmas. So this one is called Big Dipper. This one is a little bit longer than the other games. I think this has about an hour and a half, 2 hours playtime to it. So I thought this would be a good game to kind of end the week off, because I think it's actually set around New Year's time. So this might be a nice little, playthrough to kind of end Christmas, but also kind of, include New Year a little bit. So it's not really a game as such, it's more like a visual novel. I don't know whether there's going to be choices, much like you could with Ayakashi and, that sort of thing. So we'll see if it's kind of like a kitty love sort of game, or whether it's just a sit and read sort of game. So, new game. I think it's quite a nice, sweet little game. So, Nicholas. Oh, just going to throw Santa straight in there by the looks of it. That's it. There we go. You take them. I gave Pops a long, hard stare. Oh, right. So this is with Santa's with Dad. Okay. He's got cool tats. I couldn't do anything about it, even if I tried. Lack of sleep hindered my movements, accumulated in dark bags under my eyes. Every time I tried to smile, I looked like an absolute madman. Don't be like that. A drink? I think I have some Belgian ale lying around in the fridge. That's 9. Please, I'll have to drive later. We were sitting in a smoking area of a furniture workshop and counting cars that had New Year trees tied to their roofs, almost like captive beauties to an Aboriginal skewer. People only started caring about the holidays right before the eve, so they were selling like hotcakes at a triple price. Some of the beauties had already exposed an inexcusable amount of bare skin. Nicholas chewed on his pipe and let off a thick cloud of smoke. I pushed a fat envelope towards him. It contained 5 years of my labour, 5 years of insomnia, as well as my endless gratitude. Seeing how reluctant he was to accept the money, I laid back in my chair. They're working in the forest again. I saw some equipment near the edge of it recently. Blasphemous! Don't spend too much time outside today. A blizzard is coming. Come on, there's nothing about that in the forecast. The old man held a mysterious pause. Hey, Pops. Do you really believe in it? That's 10, don't you? Nah, that's in the realm of fairy tales. Do they report on fairy tales often in the press? Fear takes molehills for mountains. It's just your average bear. Reporters will eat up anything, since they can rarely scrape even 6 pages worth of material. What about the second crew? And the third? All of them scared shitless by an average bear. Also, go tell that to those hulks who went in armed to the teeth and came back with tails between their legs. Santa just swore. Can we just go back to that? 11. Well, you lived there, so you tell me. Were you there at the time? Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. Hard to tell. Why do you ask? Got a fright? I'm just curious. If you bear no ill will, you have nothing to fear. I'm not scared, I'm telling you. I lazily waved the old man away. During my 5 years living in the middle of the forest, I had never encountered anything supernatural, but I did meet a lot of bears. They were the real threat. Will you take it or not? Nicholas ignored my question. 12. You said your ma will be coming for a business trip. Where is she? She's already been in town for 2 days. I hesitated for a moment. Oi, what's wrong? She's always too busy. Do you think there's much work for a lawyer in the country? Hell if I know. We barely talked, even though I called her a number of times, but I also have no idea where she's staying. I can't even go pick her up. She said she'll come by a corporate car. I'm tired of this and don't want to seem clingy. She was the one to suggest celebrating New Year together, though. And I thought she was lonely at first, acted like a happy fool, and now I'm convinced it's just her guilty conscience. Don't fret. Every parent is lonely without their child. I'm as cold-hearted as they get, but I still miss my offspring. So they're not... They mustn't be father-son then. It'll be alright once you meet her. What was it, 13? Why won't you contact that offspring of yours? Nicholas scratched his beard. I didn't understand it either. My son and his wife, every earthly blessing upon her, are my total opposites. They lack in forest spirit, you see. They abhor living in the wilderness, among us rednecks. And I don't intrude. My granddaughter is always there enough for me. Wonderful lass. Now that's where my blood flows deep. Tomboyish, rebellious, hands of gold. She's around your age. We're gonna date Santa's granddaughter. I already knew all of that. I've been working with Pops for years, and he told me a myriad stories. Half of them involved that girl. Nicholas let out a dreamy sigh. I wonder what she looks like right now. Does she remember riding on Gran's back? Probably. Childhood is the most memorable part of one's life. The old man started reminiscing, but I had no desire to join him. I tapped my finger on the table. 14. Just take it. Cut it out, will you? Be as mad as you like, but I just can't sleep well knowing I have such a huge debt to pay off. Truth be told, my debt to this man was indescribably large. I was hell-bent on returning the monetary part of it, at the very least. The house is a gift. The money is also a gift, and declining a gift on New Year's Eve is, in your own words, a blasphemy. You little bugger. He shot me a look of distrust and I fabricated the sorriest expression I could muster. Oh, all right, but not a penny more, you hear? Finally. I heaved a sigh of relief. My last bit of strength left me as the air left my lungs and I stopped resembling a human being altogether. I spread all over the chair like an amoeba, half asleep. What the hell? I thought I was going to transform into an elf or something there for a second. I guess I'll be celebrating alone this year. Sorry, I promise you though, as soon as that woman disappears like she always does, I'll bring a box of the best cider I can find, and I'm not going to leave until we finish it. Who do you just call that woman, you numbskull? I remember picking up a little crybaby who always missed his mommy. What was his name again? Oh, right. Andrew. Alright, I get it. Don't worry, I have my own business to attend to. On the eve, I'll just get into my old costume and treat children at the square to some candy. I could hardly part my eyelids. Spruces kept passing by the window, but I'd already lost count of them. 17? 19? Nicholas had also forgotten about our little game. Just don't do anything illegal, okay? Don't do anything illegal, okay, Santa? I won't be able to get you out of jail tonight. Nicholas burst with laughter. I was ready to be absorbed into the chair, and the only thing keeping me above its surface was a particular feeling I couldn't suppress. Hey, Pops. Thank you. What are you talking about? I mean, seriously. Thank you. He went silent for a moment, seemingly embarrassed, then tapped my shoulder. Rest a bit. I'll be sure to wake you up later. You did a damn good job. And at that point, I fell asleep. Okay. Oh, nothing's changed. Oi, baby boy, get up. You should go before it gets dark. It felt like I'd spent at least 2 hours dreaming away. Here, take this, a key to the cellar. It's full of old junk, but you'll also find some holiday stuff there, toys and such, to make your guest happy. You may even strike up a decent conversation while getting the tray all pretty. Well then, see you next year. And I took off. So this is different actually to normal stories, because you don't even know what you look like in stories, do you? Where at least with this one, I'm a dude, I'm Andrew, pretty fine looking lad. The sits felt freezing cold, especially after getting out of that warm, comfy chair. The truck's heater was barely enough to save my hands and feet from going numb. There's nothing worse than a cold steering wheel. Oof. From all the places I visited in my life, this town, the coldest in the whole country and full of worn-down huts and small apartment complexes, extended me the warmest of welcomes. The extreme cold was nothing out of the ordinary here. There was a single, somewhat warm month for the entire year, and the other 11 you could characterise as severe frost or freezing cold. People here were hard to read. They seemed rude at first glance, but were actually very open and strong-willed, with boiling blood, as tough as the local weather. They cried and laughed equally loud. They supported and taunted each other, like one close-knit family. And though I mostly spent my time either in a house, or in the middle of the forest, or at the old man's workshop, I really liked to visit the market or the hockey field from time to time. They were always crowded, and everything there left an impression of sincerity and hospitality that you won't be able to find anywhere else in the world. Every New Year's Eve, the main, and the only prominent, street was decorated with lights of all sorts, and the storefronts were plastered with paper snowflakes, the kind kids make in kindergarten. A giant tree and an ice town would be set up in the central square, a town that could last up to half a year thanks to the cold and the polar night. Stalls with all sorts of hot drinks and food also grew up around the town, like mushrooms after the rain, and children along with their not-so-sober parents rode in reindeer carriages. That's not how you spell reindeer, but I know where you're going with that. I was there once with Nicholas, and I surely remember that day for the rest of my life, even though it won't be for the whole atmosphere. I live outside of town, and spend a lot of time in my car, but at least I sleep in a warm bed, much better than compared to the cramped shed at the workshop. Nicholas would even sleep in the smoking area, sitting. The road I used every day was called the Bear Trail. It got the name after the incident that occurred 10 years ago when the forest was scheduled for a cut down. Something went wrong on day one. Woodcutters were scared off by a ferocious roar, which, if one was to believe them, made the whole forest tremble and broke down their equipment. Someone even claimed to see a giant bear, 6 meters tall. I mean, that's not a giant bear though, is it? I mean, that's like a normal sized bear. I mean, I've never seen one, don't get me wrong, but I'm 5'3", and a bear standing up would definitely be taller than me. The higher-ups decided that the whole crew was drinking too much, so they hired a new one, but they also didn't last long. In the end, the idea of cutting down that forest was put off for an indefinite period of time. That time ended now. Brand new worker housing and equipment could be seen at the forest entrance. Woodcutting crews were smoking outside the canteen while staring at the thicket. And while I was skeptical towards these kinds of tales, I was still somewhat intrigued by them, like a child who knew that Santa Claus wasn't real, but still waited for presents to magically appear under the tree every year. He is real, you've got to drink cider with him. Obviously, Nicholas warned me about everything before handing out the keys to the house. I was a regular guest at his place, and had never seen this 6 meters tall bear. That's a pretty cabin. According to my calculations, a bear of this size wouldn't be able to move unhindered in such a thick forest, no less hide in it. Normal bears would be another matter entirely. I met them quite often, so I bought myself a gun. I shot Santa by mistake, mistaking him for a bear. There was one time I had to sit locked up in my car for 2 hours straight. I waited until the bear would stop trying to break into the car and go its own way. I even waited 30 more minutes to make sure it wasn't coming back. I had another such guest today. It was obvious from the tracks, still fresh in the snow. Giant paws led straight to my front door. The veranda was empty. I listened closely. There was no unnecessary sound, only spruces cackling from the cold. I threw my gun over the shoulder, snatched the plastic bags, and ran towards the house. The beast was probably still nearby, searching for shelter or food. I had no intention of providing it with either, be it the ham I carried, or my own meat. The lock was intact, as was the door, which meant it didn't try to break into the house. Maybe it just went over the rails and continued on. Oh, they put effort in this. I've actually drawn more than 3 scenes. I locked the door from the inside and looked out the window. I caught a glimpse of something moving between the tree trunks in the distance. I quickly persuaded myself that this was the beast's disappearing back and sighed with relief. My numb hands were difficult to control. Magazines and tissues flew into the fireplace. They would be perfect fuel to start the fire. It still took me 5 matches to be successful, though. My fingers tingled a little. Well, it seemed like I wouldn't lose my hands just yet. Still some fire left in me. Oh, hello. The moment I said that, darkness descended upon me with a clank. Quite an impressive clank. I woke up from the pain in the back of my head, and that meant I was knocked out by something heavier than a simple headache. The clank came from my lifesaver in the field, or scrambled eggs and fried potatoes. The clank came from my lifesaver in the field of scrambled eggs and fried potatoes, a cast iron frying pan. Someone who uses things like that for not so gentle persuasion certainly doesn't have any good intentions. Hi! My vision gradually came back. For a while I couldn't make out a clear silhouette behind the colourful mess, but then I saw a girl crouching before me, with a fucking shotgun in my face. With a gun in her hands. My gun. I was staring down its barrel, and the girl was staring at me. Intently. Without blinking. Well, not much fire left now. A finger that was clutching the trigger had moved, and I shut my eyes, ready to pass on to the other side, but the shot never came. The girl was hindered by her mittens. The gun constantly slipped out of her hands, and she tried to get a firmer grip on it, risking to blow my head clear off every time she did that. Her eyes were accusing me of some heinous crime, and I felt deeply ashamed, even though I didn't know exactly how I had wronged her. She kept on being silent. I had no words either. It's pretty cold outside, isn't it? Oh, isn't it awkward when you have to try and, make conversation with your murderer? So awkward. Please don't kill me. Care for some tea? Oh, the British way. British way of sorting things out. Cup of tea. Whether you're upset, tea. You're happy, tea. You're celebrating, tea. Just tea solves everything. What a way to start the conversation. The ringing in my ears wasn't helping either. Hello? I tried to make the first step. The girl's eyes went wide, but she clutched the gun even harder. Did I do something wrong? I don't know. Yet. Her voice was full of seething hostility, as if a gun pointed at my face wasn't enough to show her intentions. and you will never know if you shoot me. Do you take me for a murderer? You're pointing a gun in his face. I think my statement just now made her furious. Then why do you keep that thing pointed at me? I just don't know what to expect from you. I can assure you I didn't plan anything criminal. I just wanted to come back home and... Is this the bear corner? I figured it was futile to argue about being interrupted. The name caught my attention. I remember Nicholas giving the house that name and it was still in the planning phase. That's right. Why do you call it your home? Because I do live here. Duh. She stared at me with distrust. Please, would you lower that gun? It'll make the conversation so much more comfortable for both of us. She hesitated for a moment, but then swiftly grabbed the pan and rushed to the other side of the room. No sudden moves. Oh, she's cute. Oh, hello, me. Can I at the very least stand up? She curtly nodded, and I slowly stood up. My ears were ringing and my brain felt like mashed potatoes, even though I couldn't feel any bumps on my head. Mashed tatties. Now she was eyeing me cautiously. I couldn't move freely and was much larger and stronger than her. I kept my distance, so I wouldn't scare her into doing something rash and unreasonable. She didn't look like a thief, or a harmful person in general, but that didn't explain what business she had in these parts. Let's start from the beginning. Name's Andrew. I've been living in this house for 5 years, and today I drove here in my car, unlocked the door with my key, like I always do, and got hit over the head with a frying pan. What's your story? 5 years? Come on, couldn't you at least give me a name? How is that possible? And what about... She sank to the floor, colour draining from her face. It can't be. My lady guest gave the room a look and started crying. I was too late. Ah! Oh, so much more effort being put into this than other visual novels. Her every sob echoed painfully inside my head. It was almost as if my eardrums were being scratched by sandpaper. I tried to gather my thoughts, but they were scattering about like frightened rabbits. I had to give her credit for still holding on to that frying pan, though. Can I help you in any way? How long ago? No, the previous owner. Where can I find his... His what? His workshop? She had to squeeze the words out of herself. They were basically drowning in a sea of tears. When I was finally able to piece the puzzle together, it hit me. Too late. She presumed him to be dead. It all made sense now. There was no way a random person could find this house and worry about some stranger. I think there's some sort of misunderstanding. Nicholas is alive and well. He's just not living here anymore. The sob stopped. Now only hiccups disturbed the silence of the room. I was almost ready to relax, but the house shook from another wave of tears. What a relief! Please stop crying, everything is fine. I was never taught how to deal with situations like that. How should I calm her down? Did she have some sort of switch for that? A stop word maybe? A slap? I wanted to help her up, but she went completely silent as soon as I took a single step. An eerie silence. Even the hiccups were gone. Keep your distance! I took a step back. She resumed crying. I took a step forward. She went silent once again. You're playing with fire. I'm still the one with the gun. Hey, let's do it without threats. I just wanted to help you. It's not a good idea to sit on the cold floor. She sprang to her feet. Now can you move away? As you wish. Not very sociable, are you? Well, sorry for not letting total strangers into my personal space. And, from the two of us, I believe you're the one who decided to seclude yourself in the middle of the forest. So who are you to comment on my social skills? I wanted to retort, but my thoughts were cut short by a strange sound. My guest was obviously hungry. You did not hear that, alright? Where do I find Grandpa? Is he in town? He lives in an old workshop. It's on... She shut the door on me. Such poor manners. Did she just up and leave? She whacked me on the head, stuck a gun in my face, and then just disappeared. I checked inside my pockets. The car keys were there. The gun and the pan were also left behind. What a crazy woman. Mind telling me where you were going? I caught up to her near the fence. To town? No hesitation. You're Julia, right? Nicholas's granddaughter? I don't remember telling you my name. Yeah, it's very nice to meet you as well. Are you stalking me? Just a heads up, you were the one to sneak into my house. Be glad it was just me. Why are you following me? I think I owe you... You think I owe you an apology? No, that wasn't my intention at all. Alright, sorry. I didn't have to attack you there. I was scared, that's all. You did it from behind! With a frying pan! I'm sorry, I really am. I don't need your apologies. Then what do you want? Are you a predator or something? Did you leave your car nearby? No, actually, I'm not sure. Not sure? How will you get to town without it then? On foot. Listen, I don't know how you got here, but we're kind of in the middle of a forest. The town is at least 30 kilometres away, so if you don't come back to the house, there's a high chance you'll get lost. Julia just chuckled in reply. You'll get eaten by a bear or simply freeze to death. I'll be okay. I'm safe here. Why are you so sure? Mysterious silence followed. I turned back. My house was already hidden behind a row of trees. The snowfall was so heavy I couldn't see a thing. It was dangerous to venture any further. Besides, I wasn't wearing much and the cold started getting to me. Hey, it's not like I know the forest that well, and someone shrieked behind me. Julia slipped up and rolled down a small hill. And neither do you, it seems. She stood up and brushed the snow off her clothes. This trail is supposed to be a shortcut, if I remember correctly. You don't seem exactly confident. Let's get back into the house and think it over. Think it out. Believe me, travelling on foot is a bad idea. Why should I trust you? Because it's a reasonable thing to do, no? She gave me a scrutinising look. Let's go. Pops would never forgive me if he knew I let you go. Why Pops? What do you mean? Are you guys close enough for you to call him that? It's short for father. Father Christmas. We're colleagues and friends. You should have said that earlier. There was no trace of hostility left in Julia's facial expression. Hi. So that's who Grandpa is friends with. It was almost as if she were happy to see me now. I'm his only friend, really. Why? I promised to tell you everything, but let's just return to the house first. When I was little, we would always take walks here. There should be a shortcut around here. I don't know where it is, and you don't seem to remember either. Pop said there will be a blizzard and advised me to be careful. Well, it's not that cold yet. Was she that brave, or just plain stubborn? But if Grandpa said there will be a blizzard, we should probably stay inside. She nodded and flashed me a charming smile. Let's go. Sure, you seem to be hungry. Pizza? Domino's? I'd love to have some. Oh, this is really pretty. Oh, ... It was warm and cosy inside. Luckily, I managed to light up the fireplace before getting smacked over the head. You should get closer to the fire. Warm yourself up. Quite easy to lose your limbs to hypothermia in these parts. Sexy talk, Andrew. I have this winter hat and these mittens. You're the one neglecting your own health. Well, everything just happened so quickly. I hope you don't mind if I put the gun somewhere more safe. I mean, you might fucking shoot me again. Of course, and I'm really sorry. If I knew you were a friend, I wouldn't have acted that way. Should I write it on my face? The girl laughed. Maybe you should. I took you for a burglar at first. Oh, we're going to start flirting. Julia had already taken off her coat and was straightening up her sweater. I was finally able to take a good look at her. She was pretty and, thank heavens, didn't inherit any features from Pops, apart from the eyes. A burglar who comes here by car, opens the house with a key, and gets inside to warm himself up. How do you decide to arm yourself with a gun? I'm always a bit confused when I come to my senses. Sometimes it makes me do or say some strange things. The house hadn't changed much, so I assumed that Grandpa still lived here, and you were a nasty trespasser. It's true that I had no chance to remodel the house. It was always a bit tight on time. By the way, what do you mean by, when I come to my senses? Oh, is she the bear? She's the fucking bear, isn't she? I took a pizza from the fridge and shoved it in the microwave. Oh, no. Oh, nah, just have it cold. Don't reheat pizza. Ugh. It's a bit complicated. A very long story, so to speak. We have plenty of time on our hands. She heaved a deep sigh. Promise me you won't laugh. I've been sleepwalking since I was 13. I would just go outside and set out in a random direction. It was a sight to behold for people passing by. And it was impossible to wake me up. Absolutely impossible. So someone would just lead me to a safe place. The police or the hospital. Nothing to laugh at so far. I can stop if you want. No, please continue. So my parents decided to put me under lock and key. They set up cameras and locked the door to my room. Mom even showed me the records once. I just stood in pitch black darkness and turned the doorknob. It was so spooky. I bet it was. The seizures continued for a while, and then suddenly stopped. Seemed like the other me, who was taking control at night, gave up. I forgot about my night strolls for a while, as did my parents. My habits returned when I started living alone next October. You mean last October. I used to wake up in the forest or at the lakeside, a long way away from home, sometimes even tens of kilometres away, and now I'm here. And where are you from? Orenburg. Pronounced that right? What? That Orenburg, from the southern border. Really? It's at least 2,000 kilometres away. Is pizza ready? Ah, that's right. I took out the plate and handed it to Julia. She carefully took a slice of pizza and put it in her mouth. It's so hot! No need to rush, so you came all the way from Orenburg? Seems like it. How did you get here? I don't know. What's the date, by the way? December 31st. Julia's mouth went agape and she dropped the slice she was holding. You must be joking. I swear. Oh God, I was away for almost a month. Do you really expect me to believe you got here in a month, sleepwalking all the way? My parents must be worried sick. What a disaster. I sighed. The story was hard to believe. I have to call Mom. I'll say that I went to see my friend in the country. No, she of all people would know I have no friends like that. I seem to have lost my phone to boot. My head was splitting open with pain again. You can use mine. Just please calm down. You're hurting my brain. Really? I owe you one. Julia clutched the phone and ran outside, and I finally picked up the plastic bags that were sitting by the front door. Ugh, the chicken was already thawing. I hope Julia won't wander into the forest again. Her muffled voice could be heard from the outside. She was saying something about the boonies, bad reception and memory loss. What's boonie? Boonies. I had to call Pops and ask him to pick her up. I'd almost forgotten how busy I was myself, how much I needed it done before Mom came to visit, and I didn't even know how soon she was going to come. Gotta contact her as well. Julie returned visibly exhausted. Well, didn't go that bad. I was able to persuade her that I'm alright. What a nightmare. A month of my life just poof, gone. Bet she was expecting you to come for New Year's Eve. My parents don't celebrate. They don't even set up a tree. They're always going on business trips, so they don't spend that much time home anyways. And that means I'm always all alone during the holidays. I still love that time of year though. Well, at least it's nice that your mom worries about you. Isn't that true for every mom? Not for mine, at the very least. Julie wanted to say something, but hesitated. She probably had more questions, but was afraid to sound rude, which was rather amusing, considering she was the one to smack me with a frying pan just a while ago. Do you want to call Pops? He'd be delighted to hear from you. Yeah, I probably should. I miss him so much. Wait, what if we surprise him? Wouldn't your presence here be enough of a surprise? I mean, is there a chance I can see him? Out with the question. The trip would take too much time and I'm expecting guests. Sorry, that was brazen of me. Brazen hussy! Not as brazen as pointing a gun at my face, though I had to admit her confidence level dropped at least twofold from the fateful moment of our meeting. Now she just kept on fixing her hair. I was probably too harsh. No, not at all. I'd drive you there any other day. You're Nicholas's granddaughter after all, but today... I understand. Also, I've just realised, look at the bunny in the background. I like that. I understand. Julia rubbed her brow. Do you mind if I make a call? No problem. Should I leave? You don't have to. I just need to check on something real quick. Julia nodded. I dialed Mom's number and turned away reflexively. I didn't expect much. I wasn't even sure if she'd pick up. I was ready to hang up and shoot her a message when the call suddenly connected. Hello? Sup? Hi. Cold as ever. When will you be coming? Well, as soon as I finish. Shithead. Got it. Andrew? What? Are you alright? And are you generally interested? Everything's fine. Oh my god, they have not got a good relationship, have they? Be careful on the road. There's going to be a blizzard. I dropped the call as she was saying something. This would put her in my shoes for once. Oof! I hid my trembling hands into the pockets, turned back and was met with a judgmental look on Julia's face. I hope you weren't talking to your mom right now. Oh, are you going to teach me how to deal with my own mother? Seems to me like you hate her. Don't blow it out of proportion. And don't look at me like I'm some sort of monster. You don't have the full picture. I'm only talking about what I see, and I'm more than willing to listen to your side of the story. No, you're talking about something you have absolutely no idea about, and do I look like I need a shoulder to cry on? I'm not going to pity you. She gazed at me intently. I couldn't suppress a nervous smile. As you wish. Seems like it's easier for you to open up to a rock rather than to another human being. Would be such a shame to let someone know you can be vulnerable, right? She extended a hand towards me, waiting for the phone. Whoa, hello. Back. Oh no. Look at you, intently. I couldn't suppress a nervous smile. This is rock. Rah. Right. We'll have to do without surprises. What's going on? Am I really that repulsive? My relationship with my mom is my own business. Why would I confide to a stranger? Why am I even worried? Who cares about what she thinks? I surely don't. Maybe. Some time passed, but Julia wasn't coming back. She was so lively while talking to her mom, but now I couldn't hear a thing. I'd clearly made a mistake. Julia had nothing to do with me and Mom not getting on well. I was straight up rude. She most likely meant no harm. And she had Pops' blood in her. He would also scold me all the time. I hope she won't take everything to heart. Still, that look in her eyes. Did she despise me so much? The front door opened without a sound. Cold wind made my skin tingle. Julia's face was red for some reason. I mean, it's not as if it's like -5 outside. Everything okay? Yeah, I guess. Sorry, I went a bit too far. I didn't mean to offend you. I'm sorry as well. Should have minded my own business, so it's my own fault. She covered her face with her hand. Something wrong? No, I mean, I'm fine. How's Pops? Did you talk to him? Yeah, you were right. He was delighted to hear me. Said he'd come as soon as he finishes some business in the workshop. What's the deal this time? I thought we finished everything by now. Julia averted her gaze. I didn't pry. Well, anyways, that's good news. If you wish, you could... Can I use your bathroom? Huh? Sorry, it may sound strange, but I don't remember when was the last time I took a shower. It would also be cool to do some laundry. I mean, I'd love to wash your dirty underwear. Sure, it's on the 2nd floor. Well, you should already know that. Bathrobes and such are in the closet, fresh towels are on the left, and if you want a hairdryer... I think I'll manage. Sorry for the trouble. She nodded in gratitude and went upstairs, trying to hide her beet-red face under her hair. I shook my head. What happened to her? She didn't want to as much as look at me a minute ago, and now... Did Pops tell her something about me? That old geezer gossiping again. I mean, it's not like I wanted her to hate me, and she was acting rather cute. Besides, did she just go to shower knowing there's no one but me in a 50-kilometre area? I'm not some sort of barbarian, but a man nonetheless. Me being friends with Pops was not a reason to be so relaxed. I also hoped she wouldn't open the bottom drawer. Andrew! I shooed away any awkward thoughts. I should have offered her a change of clothes. My washing machine could dry, but it would take a long time. And I also really wanted to see her in one of my t-shirts. Oh god. I tried to wolf whistle and I couldn't do it. Hang on. There we go. It was hot inside. I needed to air the room and clean up a bit. I just noticed how messy my place was. It's hard to spot the mess when it gradually grows, but now, looking at it with fresh eyes, I understood the full magnitude of the tragedy. My workplace was buried underneath wood chips, garbage bags were sitting in my room for ages. I was so used to stepping over them that I no longer noticed them. All of my dishes were in the sink rather than on the shelves, soaking in still water. Wait, was that mould growing over there? I felt disgusted by myself. Good thing my mom wasn't here to witness this nightmare. I started with the kitchen, gathered everything that missed the garbage bin due to my impeccable aim, washed all the dishes and went over the shelves with a wet cloth. It actually felt quite refreshing. The dust here seemed to be ages old, even though I was sure I cleaned everything just a month ago. Oh, you could drown in filth just by being in this house for a while. When I finished cleaning the first floor, my truck's trunk was filled with 8 garbage bags, one of which was filled strictly with plastic bottles. Recycle, Andrew! You need to recycle. Anyway. Right, I'm going to save here. In this little snowflake slot. There we go. Override, yes. And I'm going to call this a day. So this is part 1 of a new little, like, a mini playthrough. Just kind of like, you know, covering the end of Christmas and the New Year. So guys, this is the end of Xmas week. I will hopefully see you in the next episode. I hope everyone have had a lovely Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you had a lovely Hanukkah, lovely gathering, family time, eating KFC, doing whatever the hell you want to do. Whatever, as long as it's been a lovely time. If you have enjoyed, then please leave a like, drop a comment down below, let me know what you think, and subscribe for some more content. Merry Christmas guys, see you later, bye!